There is a spiritual law, subtle yet unbreakable, that money must obey the voice of firm and unwavering command. It is not arrogance to speak to your prosperity, it is wisdom. Today, I invite you to rise beyond mere wishing and take your rightful place as the commander of wealth in your life. Speak aloud without hesitation. Money, flow to me continuously, day and night, from every direction. You are my servant, I am not yours. Let these words become your morning decree and your nightly blessing. For in the realm of spirit your spoken word is law. Money hears the voice of faith, it rushes toward the heart that dares to speak with authority. Hold in your mind the picture of abundance streaming into your life 24 hours a day. See it filling your accounts, your home, your work, and your dreams. See your creative ideas turning into channels of income. See strangers becoming customers. See opportunities blossoming where none seem to exist. The clearer your vision, the quicker the manifestation. Refuse to allow doubt to take root, for doubt is the silent thief of fortune. Instead, bless every dollar that comes your way, small or large, and say, "Thank you for obeying my call. You are multiplied as you enter my life." In blessing, you magnetize more. In gratitude, you unlock doors unseen. Money, by its nature, seeks motion. It wants to circulate, to serve, to build. Do not stand in its way by worrying about lack. Release your grip of fear and trust that the invisible law is already at work. The supply is infinite. It cannot run out. What you command in faith, you receive by law. Finally, live today as one whose wealth is already flowing 24/7. Make choices not from scarcity, but from the knowing that more is always arriving. Speak, act, and think like someone who never doubts the loyalty of money to obey their voice. Words hold invisible power, a force so subtle that most never notice its workings, yet so profound that it shapes destinies, fortunes, and entire worlds. When we speak, we do not merely push air across vocal cords. We set unseen laws into motion that echo far beyond what the ear can hear. In the secret realm of spirit, words become commands, blueprints that the universe tirelessly fulfills. To order money to flow to you continuously is not a plea or a wish whispered into the void. It is a royal decree issued from the inner throne of your consciousness. Money, like all manifestations, responds to this voice of authority when it is spoken with faith, clarity, and unwavering conviction. In daily life, words often seem casual, thrown about in conversation without a second thought. But every word carries creative energy, either building or breaking, opening doors or closing them. The one who understands this becomes deliberate, choosing each statement with care, knowing that the universe listens not only to loud affirmations, but also to the quiet murmurs spoken in frustration or fear. A careless statement like "I never have enough money" is as powerful as a purposeful decree, for the law does not judge, it simply obeys. Therefore, the wise practitioner learns to watch over speech as a gardener tends young plants, pulling out the weeds of negative declarations and planting seeds of prosperity in their place. When you order money to flow to you 24/7, do so with the calm certainty of a ruler addressing loyal subjects. Say aloud, "Money, you are welcome in my life. You flow to me constantly, easily, and harmoniously. You obey my call day and night without interruption." Let your words become a daily ritual, repeated not in desperation, but in assurance. Feel the truth of your decree as you speak it. Imagine the sound of your words rippling outward like waves across a still lake, reaching unseen forces whose sole task is to bring your words to life. It is not the volume of the words, nor the complexity of the phrases that matters most. It is the energy behind them. A single sentence spoken in faith can accomplish more than hours of anxious wishing. Faith gives words their power, doubt steals it away. This is why even the smallest negative statement can undermine your decree if spoken in fear or frustration. Consistency becomes your shield. By making positive declarations about money a daily practice, You train both your conscious and subconscious mind to expect abundance as natural and constant. Words also shape your inner image of wealth. As you speak, you begin to see yourself differently, not as someone chasing after money, but as someone to whom money comes freely as an honored guest. This shift is powerful, for the subconscious mind acts upon the strongest image you hold of yourself. When your words match this image, the creative forces align effortlessly to bring it into form. Over time, what began as a spoken decree becomes your lived reality. Imagine, for a moment, the difference between a person who declares each morning, "I never have enough," and one who declares, "Money flows to me every hour, every day." The words alone create two entirely separate futures. One sets in motion scarcity, the other abundance. Though both individuals may work equally hard, the silent forces shaped by their words guide them toward very different outcomes. Such is the unseen power of speech. By choosing your words carefully, you become the artist of your financial life, painting with sentences instead of brushes, shaping streams of income with thoughts made audible. Your decree need not be loud or dramatic. It need only be consistent and filled with conviction. The universe does not respond to noise, it responds to certainty. So, speak as if what you command is already so, for in truth it is. The moment you give the order, unseen forces begin their work. Your task is simply to keep speaking the word of abundance, keep believing in its power, and keep living as though your decree is law. And in time, you will see what was once invisible become visible, as money obeys your call and flows to you continuously, just as you commanded. See money as your willing servant, not as your master, for this single shift in perception transforms your relationship with wealth from one of fear and struggle to one of calm authority. Money, in truth, is an obedient energy that follows direction, not a capricious ruler that must be chased or appeased. Most people, without realizing it, place money above themselves in the hierarchy of their lives, allowing it to dictate emotions, decisions, and even self-worth. They wake each day anxious about what money will or will not do, forgetting that it is they who hold the power to command its flow. To see money as your servant means to speak to it not with desperation, but with a serene certainty that it is here to fulfill your needs and desires. Just as you would instruct an assistant to carry out a task, you can instruct money to appear, to circulate, to multiply, and to remain in harmonious motion in your life. This mental posture is not arrogance. It is rightful dominion over your affairs. When you step into this place of inner authority, money senses your confidence and responds in kind. Consider for a moment the quiet strength of a leader giving instructions. There is no pleading, no panic, just a clear, direct statement of what must be done. In the same way, you can say, "Money, you are here to serve my purpose. You come to me from expected and unexpected sources. You stay, grow, and flow out to do good, then return again multiplied." Speak these words not as a question, but as a fact, and do so daily until they feel as natural as breathing. This perspective liberates you from fear. When money is seen as the master, every expense feels like a threat, every bill an enemy, and every downturn a crisis. But when money becomes the servant, each dollar spent is merely money fulfilling its purpose. And each new need is simply another opportunity to direct money to do your bidding. Instead of shrinking back in worry, you step forward in confidence, giving new instructions. Money, go pay this bill. Money, go create new opportunities. Money, return with increase. Seeing money as your servant also removes guilt and shame around wanting more. It is natural to desire an abundant life. It is the spirit within you seeking fuller expression. A wise master does not apologize for giving the servant work to do. Likewise, you need not apologize for commanding money to come, stay, and grow. In doing so, you open doors for greater creativity, generosity, and joy, because you no longer live under the shadow of scarcity. Begin to practice this new relationship by observing how you speak about money in everyday conversation. Notice if your words suggest that money controls you, I can't afford that, money never lasts, I'm always broke. Replace these with statements of command and expectation. I choose to spend wisely. Money flows back to me multiplied. I always have more than enough. Over time, these words reshape your subconscious beliefs, which in turn reshape your outer reality. Visualize money as streams of golden energy eager to serve. Imagine it flowing into your life, carrying out tasks, creating comfort, funding dreams, and returning with companions. The more vividly you see this, the more naturally you will speak to money with authority, not anxiety. And because money responds to the mental image you hold, it begins to appear in new and surprising ways. This shift is subtle yet profound. No longer do you stand as a beggar at the gates of fortune. You stand as the rightful owner of your life, calmly directing the flow of financial good. The servant obeys not because of force, but because of your unwavering conviction that it must. And when you live from this conviction, you will find that money listens, responds, and serves faithfully, not occasionally, but continuously. The practice is simple. Speak to money daily, see it as your servant, and act from the quiet confidence that your word is law. Over time, the evidence will appear, bills paid with ease, unexpected windfalls, creative ideas that bring profit, and a deep sense of peace that comes from knowing money is no longer your master. It has taken its rightful place at your service, obeying your call and helping you live the abundant life you were meant to enjoy. Release doubt, embrace expectancy. This is the sacred key that unlocks the flow of money into your life without pause. Doubt is the silent barrier that rises unseen between your command and its fulfillment, quietly undoing the good work of your words and thoughts. To speak a decree and then question its power is like planting a seed and immediately digging it up to see if it has sprouted. Nothing can grow in such restless soil. When you release doubt, you make space for the invisible forces of supply to work freely, unhindered by your fears or contradictions. Expectancy, by contrast, is the living breath of faith. It is not mere hoping or wishful thinking. It is the calm certainty that what you have ordered in spirit is already moving toward you, even if unseen. Imagine a farmer who plants in spring. He does not rise each morning wringing his hands about whether the harvest will come. He waters, tends, and plans as though the crops are already assured. In the same way, when you truly expect money to flow to you 24/7, your actions, words, and thoughts naturally align with that belief. You stop wondering if the flow will start, and instead you quietly prepare to receive it. Releasing doubt begins with becoming aware of it. Doubt often wears disguises: worry, fear, self-criticism, or constant questioning of how the money will arrive. These thoughts may seem harmless, but they subtly block the current of abundance. Notice when such thoughts appear and gently replace them with statements of expectancy. I may not see it yet, but money is already on its way. Or the channels of supply are opening even now. Over time, these new thoughts become the stronger pattern in your mind, and the old doubts lose their power. Expectancy feels different in your heart. It is lighter, calmer, and carries no sense of urgency. Urgency comes from fear that what you desire will not come. Expectancy knows that it must come because the law of supply responds faithfully to your word and belief. Cultivate this expectancy through quiet reflection each day. Close your eyes and imagine the feeling of having your financial needs met before they arise, of money flowing in as naturally as the tide comes to the shore. Let yourself dwell in that feeling until it becomes familiar. Expectancy also reshapes your actions. Instead of shrinking back from opportunities or spending decisions in fear of lack, you step forward wisely, knowing that more is always arriving. You no longer hoard from panic, but save and invest from confidence. You give freely, knowing that giving multiplies your good, and you pursue new ideas, trusting that inspiration itself is one of the universe's ways of delivering wealth to you. The power of expectancy is that it draws unseen forces into alignment. What you expect, you invite. What you doubt, you repel. Your expectancy acts as a silent signal broadcasting to the universe, "This is the reality I claim." And the universe, ever faithful, responds, not because of chance, but because of law. It must answer the call of your dominant belief. It is natural for doubt to return from time to time, especially when appearances seem contrary. When this happens, do not scold yourself. Simply return to your inner decree. Say softly, "I release this doubt. I expect money to come to me now and always." Speak this even if you do not yet fully feel it. The repetition will rebuild your inner certainty. Living in expectancy transforms waiting from anxious restlessness into peaceful preparation. You find yourself tidying your finances, making space for more, or brainstorming new projects not from desperation, but because you know the flow is coming. You carry yourself differently. Your words become calmer, your choices wiser. Others may not see the invisible work you do in thought and word, but they will see its results in your growing ease and abundance. Ultimately, to release doubt and embrace expectancy is to trust the divine order at work in your life. It is to know that money, like all good, flows naturally when you stop blocking it with fear. And as you keep your heart fixed in quiet expectancy, you discover that the flow of money truly can become constant, gentle, and sure, because it has been called forth by your faith, and faith never fails to draw into form that which it clearly and confidently expects. Create a mental picture of constant inflow, for what the mind can see with clarity and feel with conviction, it inevitably draws into reality. The power of visualization is not wishful daydreaming. It is a deliberate act of creation on the invisible plane where all manifestation begins. Just as an architect first designs a building on paper before a single brick is laid, so too must you first design the flow of money in the workshop of your imagination before it appears in your outer life. This mental picture becomes a silent command that the universe cannot ignore, a mold into which substance must pour. Begin each day by taking a quiet moment to close your eyes and see money coming to you. Imagine it not as a sudden windfall that arrives once and is gone, but as a steady, unbroken stream that flows into your life at every hour, from morning until night, and even as you sleep. Picture it coming from sources you know, your work, your business, your investments, and from unexpected avenues that surprise and delight you. Let this picture be rich in detail. See deposits being made into your accounts, see your wallet comfortably full, see invoices paid with ease, and see new opportunities arising effortlessly. Feel what it is like to live in this constant inflow. Notice the sense of relief, the quiet confidence, and the joy that bubbles up when you realize you no longer need to chase or force money to appear. In this vision, money is your willing ally, coming to you because it belongs with you, because it has been called by your unwavering image of abundance. Let yourself dwell in this feeling for a few moments longer each day until it becomes as real to you as the world around you. Visualization must be practiced with calm certainty, not strain. There is no need to force images to appear perfectly. What matters is the emotion behind the vision, the sense of ease and expectancy that money naturally comes. The subconscious mind, which governs the unseen forces of creation, responds most powerfully to feelings and pictures. Words plant the seed, images water it, emotion brings it to life. Each time you return to your mental picture, you deepen the groove in your subconscious mind, making it the dominant pattern over old images of lack and struggle. Many people unknowingly visualize lack. They picture unpaid bills, shrinking accounts, or fearful what-ifs, and then wonder why these pictures seem to come true. The creative law does not discriminate between wanted and unwanted visions. It faithfully reproduces what the mind holds most vividly and emotionally. By consciously choosing to see only the steady inflow of money, you replace these destructive images with a new design for your financial life. This practice is not limited to moments of quiet reflection. Throughout the day, recall your picture briefly whenever you catch your mind drifting to worry. Instead of entertaining thoughts like, "Where will the money come from?" gently return to your vision. "Money flows to me continuously. It is coming now." Over time, this becomes a reflex, and the old habit of fear loses its hold. Notice, too, how your actions begin to align with your mental picture. You may find yourself naturally drawn to opportunities that increase your income or guided to make wiser financial choices. This is not coincidence, it is the law in action. The clearer and more consistent your vision, the more confidently you will act, because you are moving from a place of inner certainty rather than outer fear. Living with a mental picture of constant inflow transforms your entire experience of money. Expenses no longer feel like threats. They become part of the natural ebb and flow of wealth that is always replenished. You become generous without fear, for you know the supply is unending. You stop feeling helpless in the face of circumstances because your inner vision holds steady, regardless of what you see around you. In the end, this vision becomes your new truth. What once felt like imagination turns into lived experience. The flow you pictured in quiet moments shows up in unexpected checks, new clients, inspired ideas, and fortunate coincidences. You discover that the mind truly is the womb of creation, and that by faithfully holding the picture of money flowing to you 24/7, you have invited life itself to shape that picture into visible, tangible abundance. Bless every channel of supply, for in blessing you multiply, and in gratitude you unlock the hidden doors through which abundance enters. To bless is not merely to utter polite words, but to consciously recognize and affirm the divine substance flowing through every means by which money comes to you. It is a sacred act of acknowledgement that the universe is always providing, always finding new ways to meet your needs and exceed them. When you bless what you have and the sources from which it comes, you align yourself with the flow of good rather than resisting it through complaint, fear, or indifference. Each channel of income in your life, whether it be a job, a business, an investment, or even an unexpected gift, is not the ultimate source of your supply, but a temporary avenue through which the infinite wealth of the universe expresses itself. The moment you mistake the channel for the source, you begin to feel limited. You may fear losing that channel or resent it for not giving you enough. But when you bless the channel, you keep your heart open to its blessings and also to other channels that may appear. You see your employer, your clients, your customers, your creative talents, and your opportunities as vessels through which divine substance flows, not as the creators of that substance themselves. To bless your channels means to speak well of them, to be thankful for them, and to consciously affirm that they are prospering, expanding, and serving you perfectly. When you receive payment for your work, pause to say quietly, "I bless this income and the hands it came through. May it be multiplied and returned to me again and again." This practice transforms even small amounts into seeds of greater abundance because the spirit in which money is received affects how it grows. Blessing also dissolves resentment, which is a hidden block to prosperity. Many people harbor silent complaints about their work, their employers, their customers, or the effort required to earn money. These complaints, though rarely spoken aloud, act as prayers in reverse, repelling the very good they desire. To complain is to curse the channel, to bless is to open it wider. Even if your current income seems too small or the work feels challenging, bless it nonetheless. Say, "This too is serving my greater prosperity. I give thanks for it and see it growing." Blessing extends beyond the channels you know to those yet unseen. Each morning declare, "I bless every known and unknown channel of supply. New doors open for me now. The universe delights in surprising me with good." This statement invites opportunities you could never have planned, because it affirms that your supply is limitless and not bound by what you currently see. Gratitude is the companion of blessing. To give thanks for what you have, even before it fully meets your desires, is to plant seeds in the garden of your life. Gratitude carries the energy of faith, which is the magnet of abundance. When you feel truly grateful for the money you receive and the channels through which it comes, you naturally attract more to feel grateful for. This attitude also transforms how you use money. Instead of spending with fear or reluctance, you spend with blessing. As this money goes out, it returns to me multiplied. It blesses those who receive it and blesses me as it returns. Such words may seem simple, but they shift the vibration of your financial exchanges from anxiety to joy, from contraction to expansion. In blessing, you acknowledge that your supply is not confined to your current circumstances. You open yourself to unexpected gifts, sudden ideas, and new ventures. You become a partner with the divine flow rather than an anxious spectator. Your mind rests easier, knowing that the source of your good is infinite, creative, and ever ready to find new ways to reach you. As you bless every channel of supply each day, you will begin to notice changes. Old sources of income may increase, new ones may appear, and opportunities that once seemed closed may open effortlessly. You will discover that what you bless truly does multiply, for blessing is not empty words, but the active recognition of the divine law of increase at work. In this way, your financial life becomes not a matter of struggle and scarcity, but a living testimony to the power of blessing, to transform every channel into an ever-widening stream of abundant, joyful, and harmonious supply. Act as if it is already done, for this is the final and perhaps most powerful step in commanding money to flow to you 24/7. The universe responds not to your words alone, but to the conviction and confidence from which your words arise. To act as if means to embody the state of one whose desire is already fulfilled. To think, speak, and carry yourself in alignment with the reality you have declared into being. It is not pretending or self-deception. It is stepping into the vibration of what you have called forth, knowing it must appear because spiritual law is certain. When you act as if money already flows to you continuously, your choices naturally reflect trust rather than fear. You approach each day not with desperation to make money happen, but with calm expectancy that it is happening now, whether you see evidence of it or not. You become generous in thought and action, no longer counting every penny in fear of lack. You bless others' success without jealousy, because you no longer see yourself in competition for a limited supply. Your words shift from, "I hope money comes," to "money is coming to me now, every hour of every day." This quiet certainty radiates outward, drawing opportunities, people, and ideas aligned with prosperity. Acting as if also means preparing for what you have ordered. If you have commanded money to flow to you 24/7, ask yourself, what would I do today if I truly believed this was already so? Perhaps you would organize your finances to receive and manage greater income, invest in learning that would expand your skills or open channels, like new projects or partnerships through which money can come. These actions are not born of force, but of faith that what you desire is already moving toward you. You are simply making space for its arrival. Your inner dialogue becomes a vital part of acting as if. Instead of worrying over how or when, you repeat to yourself, "It is done. The flow has begun and I am grateful." Each time doubt arises, you gently return to this statement, not by fighting the doubt, but by reaffirming your chosen reality. Over time, this becomes your dominant inner voice, and your subconscious mind accepts it as truth. Once accepted, it begins to shape your outer world accordingly. Your posture and demeanor change too. You hold your head higher, speak with more confidence, and greet life with a sense of ease. Others notice this subtle shift. They feel your certainty and respond positively, offering support, opportunities, or partnerships. This is not coincidence. It is the natural result of aligning your energy with what you have claimed. The world outside mirrors the conviction you hold within. Living as if it is already done also brings peace. You stop measuring progress by every small sign and instead rest in the knowing that your decree has been heard and answered. Just as a seed germinates unseen before it breaks the soil, so too does the inflow of money begin invisibly before it becomes visible in your life. Acting as if keeps your faith steady during this unseen phase, preventing you from undoing your own work with fear or impatience. This practice transforms obstacles into opportunities. When something appears to go wrong, a bill arrives unexpectedly or a plan falls through, you respond not with panic, but with the quiet question, how is this part of the greater flow? Often, what seems like a setback is merely a redirection to something better. Acting as if helps you recognize this, keeping your spirit calm and your mind open to new possibilities. Over time, acting as if becomes your natural way of being. You no longer need to remind yourself constantly. The sense of already having what you desire becomes a silent foundation. This does not mean you stop taking action. Rather, your actions flow from inspiration rather than anxiety. You are led to right choices at the right moments because you are aligned with the truth that your good is already yours. In this state, money responds faithfully. It shows up in unexpected refunds, new streams of income, creative ideas that become profitable, and seemingly chance encounters that open doors. The outer evidence eventually catches up with the inner reality you have consistently lived. To act as if it is already done is to live from the end rather than toward it. It is to step into the role of one whose money flows continuously, day and night, because you have commanded it so and trust in the law that makes it so. And as you live in this consciousness, the invisible becomes visible, the unseen becomes seen, and money indeed begins to obey your voice, flowing to you faithfully, abundantly, and without end.